Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host Red. I got a video today from Psych Ledger. You know, it may be the best choice, but it isn't always the right choice.
I'm going to show you something about the passport bro fantasy that will completely change how you see every YouTube video promising you paradise, every woman calling you handsome in your DMs, every friend telling you,
Good thing I don't promise you guys these things.
bro, you just need to get out there. Now, before you think I'm here to tell you not to travel, or that every foreign woman is running a scam, understand that what I'm revealing comes from watching hundreds of men make the same devastating mistake. Guys,
I'm sure there's a lot of simpy men that go travel abroad and do the exact same simpy things that they did here over there. And of course you're going to be taken advantage of when you leave with your money and you just kind of expect women to kind of fall in line to love you and all these things without putting in that much effort, time to build yourself or be a better person. You're probably not going to get the greatest results.
I know personally guys who looked me in the eye and said, I'm not stupid, I know what I'm doing, and then 6 months later they're calling me from an airport with nothing. There's a pattern running in these countries,
True.
a playbook that's been refined over decades, and until you understand exactly how it works, you'll keep walking into traps that were set before you even bought the ticket.
I think a lot of men do fall into this trap because they just think it's easy.
So if you're north of 55 with a retirement account and a divorce in your rearview mirror, brother, there's a profile out there with your name already on it. Let me show you exactly what that looks like. David was 55, Bay Area tech guy, spent 30 years writing code and watching his retirement account grow, while his marriage fell apart somewhere around year 12. Divorced, decent pension, and absolutely exhausted by dating apps where every woman wanted to know his net worth before his last name.
True.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling of what am I even doing here? So when a buddy told him about Thailand, man, it's different over there. Your dollar goes further. The women actually appreciate you. David started researching, and that's when he met her. Ning, 28 years old, worked at a bar in Pattaya. When David walked in during a 2-week vacation, she lit up like he was the only man in the room, laughed at his jokes, asked him.
It is the other side of them being more feminine and all these things. They also know how to use their femininity. And that, to me, is actually a lot more dangerous than the masculine women here. Just put it out there.
About his life. And here's the part that got him. She never once mentioned money, never asked what he did for work, just wanted to know about him. They talked all night, and for the first time in years, David felt like someone actually saw him. Not his bank account, not his house, just him. He went back to California, but they stayed in touch. WhatsApp calls every morning, good morning handsome. Pictures of her cooking, little videos of her laughing. And after 6 months of this, David made a decision that would cost him everything. I'm moving to Thailand. His kids told him, Dad, you're insane. His friends said, at least give it 6 months first, see how you like it.
I can agree with that. I always say it takes 3 years, boys. It doesn't matter what woman, what country you're at. 3 years. It may not always be 3 years, but that's a good chunk of time that someone cannot pretend anymore. They could probably pretend for 1 year, 2 years, but 3 years, it's hard to keep a facade for that long.
But David didn't want to hear any of it. For once in his life, he felt like he knew exactly what he was doing, like he'd finally found something real. So he sold his house, cashed out his 401k, $180,000 liquid, quit his job, bought a one-way ticket, and posted on Facebook about starting his new life with a woman who actually appreciated him. The first 2 months?
It feels like he doesn't have much of a plan other than just taking his money and going. You know, I think that's what a lot of men have an issue with. It's just, they think they can just survive going. No, you have to have a plan, have things set. You're going to have to travel back and forth all the time. Again, I know quite a bit of expats that do this in the Philippines. He's an older gentleman. It's actually my roommate's father. My old roommate's father. He's a white guy, married a Filipina. They divorced. Now he expats to the Philippines. He seems to have a decent life, you know, but he's also very protective of his money.
Everything he dreamed about. They got an apartment together. She cooked his favorite meals. They traveled to islands he'd only seen in screensavers. He lost 20 pounds, started learning Thai, and every time he FaceTimed his boys back home, they looked jealous as hell. Then month 3 hit. And that's when the request started.
I'm sure.
My mother is very sick. She needs medicine. It's $800. And David sent it, because that's what you do when someone you love has a family emergency, right? Month 4, she came to him with tears in her eyes. I've been thinking about our future. What if we built something together? A bar. We could run it as a couple. My family would help manage it. It would only take $50,000 to get started. David hesitated for maybe 5 seconds. Then he wired the money, because she looked at him like he was her hero, kissed him, told him I've never felt so safe with anyone. Month 5, she started
I need to feel safe and you make me feel safe. It's almost always some kind of ruse to make you drop your guard.
disappearing, going
I don't know if it's true or not, but through my own experience, it seems to be the case.
shopping with friends, visiting family up country. And when he'd call, she wouldn't answer for hours. She'd come back with stories that felt just a little too practiced, a little too smooth. Month 6, David decided to make an unannounced visit to the bar they were supposedly building together. It was her ex-boyfriend's place, not theirs. And when he walked in, she was standing there with another man, holding the keys to a car David had bought her 3 weeks earlier, looking at him like he was interrupting something. What are you doing here? No tears, no apology, no explanation, just genuine
Women are cold. Cold-hearted creatures. Doesn't matter what country they come from.
confusion about why the ATM showed up without being asked. That's when it hit him like a freight train carrying his entire future. He wasn't her boyfriend, he was revenue stream number 2, and the machine had just run empty. David's back in California now, living with his sister in a spare bedroom, trying to explain to his kids how he lost over $100,000 in 6 months to a woman who never loved him, just loved what he could provide until he couldn't anymore. And here's what I need you to understand about David. He's not stupid. He's not uniquely gullible. He's every guy who's ever felt invisible.
It's the desperate of wanting what we want. Companionship. True companionship. I think a lot of men really truly yearn this. As much as we say we're okay being alone, and I understand that both can be true. Both can be true.
And finally felt seen. That desperate hunger to matter to someone, that's exactly what this system is designed to exploit. There are 3 traps that catch men like David, and once you see them, you'll recognize the pattern everywhere. So here's something that's going to change how you see every I moved to paradise video on YouTube. Those guys aren't residents, they're permanent tourists on borrowed time. You're on a visa that expires every 30 to 90 days depending on the country, which means you can't actually live there. You're just perpetually visiting with government permission that can be...
Not all countries. I mean, the Philippines has a 10-year visa. China has a 10-year visa. Cambodia, you don't even need a visa. Some countries you don't need visas, but I can see where he's going at.
Revoked any time. You know what that means. Visa runs. Flying to Singapore or Cambodia for a weekend just to get a new stamp in your passport so you can go back to the country you just left. And you're doing this every few months at 65 years old, like some kind of bureaucratic yo-yo. But what about a retirement visa? Great question. Thailand wants $22,000 sitting in a Thai bank account that you can't touch. That's not your money anymore, that's your permission slip money, plus mandatory health insurance costing $500 to $2,000 a year. Philippines wants $10,000 to $20,000 deposited with the government, locked up forever.
I never said it was cheap. I never said it was cheap.
Plus fees every year just to stay. Vietnam? They don't even have a retirement visa, so you're either doing visa runs every 90 days, or you're getting a residence card that requires a local sponsor, which usually means your girlfriend, which means she controls whether you can legally exist in the country. You see the trap inside the trap.
I can see that.
Now stay with me on this, because what I'm about to tell you is how a guy named Richard lost $70,000 to a pattern so predictable I could have written the script before it happened. But first, here's the part that should terrify you. One screw-up, one missed deadline, one bureaucrat having a bad day, and you're deported, banned, and that house you built in her name because foreigners can't own property, gone, forever. You flew 8,000 miles to
I can definitely see this happening decently often.
escape feeling trapped and ended up in a place where you need government permission just to exist past your expiration date. You know what nobody tells you about marrying a woman from a rural village? You're not marrying her, you're adopting her entire family's financial...
I always say this. Most likely, yeah, if you're marrying a rural woman, it's going to be the whole family.
problems. Richard was 65 from Florida, met a woman online from rural Vietnam, Sweet, traditional, talked about family values and taking care of each other. Everything he wasn't finding back home. He sent $15,000 for her family's farm before he even visited.
This would be the gullible dummy part of things right here.
Video calls, proposed within 2 weeks because when you know, right? Bought land in her...
Again, 2 years! 3 years, guys! 3 years! At least, please. Please, guys, please. This is like the biggest gripe I have against The Godfather. And it's not like it's a big gripe. And I understand why The Godfather says what he says. You know, like 6 months, you kind of know. But doesn't mean you really know. You might have that inkling, okay, after 6 months, I do want to marry this person, but you gotta wait the 3 years to see if this person is worth marrying.
A name for $40,000 because foreigners can't own property, and moved to her village thinking he'd found the simple life he'd been searching for. Then the requests started coming in like a subscription service he never signed up for. Mum needs surgery. Brother needs a motorcycle for work. Cousin's starting a business. Gotta build a house for the parents. Sister's kid needs school fees. And here's the thing, it's not like these are fake emergencies. Some of them might even be real, but they never stop. $2,000 a month. Every single month. Like he's not her husband, he's the village's personal ATM with a heartbeat and a pen.
This is why I say it's hard to retire. You want income. You want more stable income to live in these countries so you have money always coming in that isn't going to deplete.
One afternoon, Richard overheard her on the phone speaking Vietnamese, and even though he didn't understand most of it, he caught one phrase clear as day, because she said it in English. The old American will pay. That's when he realized he didn't marry a woman. He adopted an entire municipality, and they all had his bank routing number. Richard's back in Miami now, lost $70,000, posts warnings on Reddit trying to explain to people that in America, when a gold digger targets you, it's one person with bad intentions. But over there, you're not dating her. You're dating her entire family tree going back 3 generations. He thought he was getting a partner. Turns out he was funding a small government. So that's the visa trap and the village trap. But the third one, this is the one that catches smart men. Careful men. Men who think they're too experienced to get played. There's a guy named James I need to tell you about. 62 years old, retired.
I believe these stories, that they're most likely legit stories because they sound like very normal, common type stories.
Retired from Houston, and later in this video, I'm going to tell you what he found on his girlfriend's phone one night. A text message that made his blood stop. But first you need to understand the pattern that makes this trap so devastating. James met Maria on Filipino Cupid. She was 35. And here's the thing, James did everything right. A full year of long-distance calls and messages before he even visited. He wasn't rushing, he was being smart. He flew to the Philippines. They got married within 2 months. He bought a house in...
But they got married, so after 2...
in Cebu for $80,000. Had to put it in her name because that's the law. And for the first few months, everything seemed perfect. Her family moved in temporarily to help with the house. She was attentive, sweet, exactly what he'd been searching for. Then the loan started. $5,000 a month for family debts that never seemed to get paid off. Emergencies that happened with alarming regularity. And every time James questioned it, she'd cry and say, "I thought you loved me. I thought we were family." Now here's what I need you to understand about the difference. American gold diggers are obvious. Designer bags on...
I always say that. That's the great thing about American Western women. We can straight up see everything.
The second date. They want you to know they're expensive. You can see them coming from a mile away. Foreign gold diggers. They're patient. 6 months to a year of perfect girlfriend behavior before the first request even happens. By then you're in love. You've posted about her on Facebook. Your boys back home are jealous. And when she finally asks for money, it doesn't feel like funding a scam. It feels like helping family.
True.
You know what guys always tell me, but she waited so long to ask for anything. She must be real. Brother, that patience is the trap. That's the whole system.
True.
What James found on that phone is coming. But first I need to show you the math they don't want you to see. Alright, let's talk about money. Because this is going to change how you see every I live like a king on $800 a month video. Is it technically true? Sure. If you're willing to live in a concrete box with no AC and 95-degree heat, eat street food for every meal, and pray your 65-year-old stomach can handle it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live on only 800 a month. You know, I would definitely be still spending 2,000, 3,000 a month because that's about what I spend here. Yes, it's cheaper over there. I just get to do a lot more things and live a lot more, I guess, lavishly.
Take the bus everywhere like you're 22 and backpacking
Nah, I
through
gotta
Europe.
get a moped.
Give up every Western comfort you've enjoyed for the last 4
That would be the part that's like, like, I do enjoy my Western bed.
decades. But let's be honest, you don't want that. You want air conditioning that actually works. A decent apartment in a safe neighborhood, reliable internet so you can video call your grandkids.
True.
Western food occasionally because your body can't process fish heads and rice 3 times a day.
Yeah, that's the great thing about being Asian. I like it. I like eating that stuff all the time anyways. I actually do not like American food, like burgers and fries and all. Well, it's not like I say I don't like it, but I rather prefer like pho or, you know, fried rice or something.
Maybe a car so you're not sweating through your shirt on public transportation. Real numbers from guys actually living there. Thailand runs $1,500 to about $2,500 a month if you want to.
That's what I said. 15, about 2,000, 3,000 to live a very comfortable life and not have to worry about much.
Live like a human being. Philippines is $1,200 to about $2,000. Vietnam is $1,000 to almost $1,800. And those numbers go up every year because inflation doesn't stop just because you crossed an ocean.
True.
So here's the math that should change your whole calculation. You saved $400 a month on rent so you could spend it on her brother's motorcycle, her mum's surgery, and the family business that's definitely going to pay you back any day now. You're not saving money, you're just spending it in a different currency on different people. Now let me say this clearly, because it's going to change how you see every expat showing off their dream house. Foreigners cannot own land in Thailand, Philippines, or Vietnam. It's not a loophole you can work around. It's not a lawyer you can hire. It's the law, and it's not.
That I do understand. I am a Cambodian citizen. I actually can go buy land in Cambodia. Lucky me.
Changing. So when you build that dream house or buy that condo, it goes in her name, because that's the only option. And every lawyer and expat forum will tell you, just put it in her name. It's fine, everybody does it. Like that makes it less insane.
Right.
Michael was from Chicago, built a $90,000 condo in Bangkok, put it in his girlfriend's name because he had to, and a year later, he saw her at a bar with another American expat. Laughing, holding hands, he confronted her, and she didn't cry, didn't apologize, didn't even look embarrassed. She laughed and said, "You're just one of many," like he'd walked in on her playing cards, not running a romance scam. Michael lost the condo. All 90,000.
I do like this video because these are very real. Like, men get taken advantage more, in my opinion, overseas. Because men are just so gullible overseas. They think women over there are just docile little women. Yeah, they're docile women, but they know how to use their femininity, unlike the women in the West. That's why men are falling for it.
$1,000 of it. And you know what? She's renting it right now to another retiree who probably thinks he's different, that his situation is special, that she really loves him this time. That condo's got a better dating life than most guys on Tinder.
Damn.
Think about what I just said. You're putting a house in the name of someone you've known less time than it takes to lease a car, and somehow—
And this is why I say travel. Don't find a woman and then go over there to meet with her. No, travel, go see these places, try living in these places for like a few weeks on end, you know, travel to different places and then see. Doing it this way, at least the 3 methods that I saw these men did, was they already picked a woman. They already kind of communicated with the woman before they went over. No, just go over there and explore for a bit. And then for a few years or however long you feel until you feel comfortable. Like, oh, do I like this country? Do I want to live here?
How you think that's going to end well? Once you see these patterns, you're going to recognize them everywhere. In your DMs right now, in your buddy's new girlfriend, in every story.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That ends with a guy sitting in an airport with nothing. First one, she found you. Not the other way around. She sent the first message, started the conversation, showed interest before you even noticed her. And look.
Yeah, any foreign women that messaged me first, I would definitely be on the red alert.
I need you to ask yourself honestly, when's the last time a 28-year-old messaged you first back home? Second, love bombing with—
Why you gotta hurt my feelings like that, man? Just because no 28-year-olds are throwing themselves at me?
within weeks. I've never felt this way before. You're different from other men. I think about you all the time. And she's saying this before you've even met in person.
True.
Before she knows if you snore or chew with your mouth open.
This is the fault of men. We love women so much. It's like if any woman ever really wants to give us some time of day, us men are out there just like, she's the one.
Not love,
That's
brother.
just us.
That's a sales pitch.
Like women and men are just built so differently. The only reason society is still around is because men were instilled with this so much love towards women. If we didn't have this love, society wouldn't be what it is.
Third, money requests before you meet. There's always an emergency. Mom is sick, brother needs help. Something always needs $500.
You know, I could tell you guys this now. This happens even to us. Like when we first came to this country in '92 with my parents and stuff, we got similar calls, my similar letters back and forth. Oh, my whatever cousin that's staying over there, or my dad's cousin that's staying over there. Oh, he needs a moped. Oh, you know, all this, there's some kind of emergency. Even people here that traveled here from those countries get the exact same thing, because that's kind of how it is. When in Asian countries, when you're family, you just take care of everything if you have the ability to. I get it's just a different culture than the US culture.
She's so sorry to ask, and you're sending Western Union to someone you've never even touched. Fourth, family's involved immediately. You haven't met her yet, but you're already hearing about her mother's health problems, her brother's job situation, her sister's kid who needs school fees. You're not her boyfriend, you're her family's financial advisor. Fifth, pressure to commit fast. Marriage talk in 6 months, moving in together after...
Again, 3 motherfucking years, guys. 3! I'm just gonna keep saying it. 3! At least. 3. You guys heard me, right? 3. Not months, years.
After 3, wanting to build a future before you've even had a single fight. And if you suggest slowing down, she cries, "Don't you love me? I thought you loved me." That pressure...
Yeah, never have tears try to move you forward into a relationship ever.
is the tell. 6th, all her friends are with foreigners. Every woman in her circle is dating or married to a Western guy. They all met the same way. That's not coincidence. That's a support group for a business model. And 7th, her ex was foreign too. Ask about her last relationship and watch how she answers. Because if he was American or British or Australian and it ended the same way, you're not special. You're just next in line. So you made it over there. Now watch for these, because they mean the pattern has already started. Lifestyle upgrade on day 1. New phone, new clothes, nice restaurants where she's ordering like she's never seen a menu before. All coming out of your wallet while she tells you how happy you make her. Monthly family emergencies. Someone always needs something. Every single month there's a crisis that requires cash. The crises are different, but the amount is always just below what you'd consider a deal breaker. That consistency is the pattern. She pushes for property investment. Let's build a house together. Let's buy a condo. Let's invest in my family's business. And it's always in her name because foreigners can't own property. She promises you'll be taken care of if anything happens. You won't be. She isolates you from other expats. Doesn't want you around guys who've been there longer.
And this is why I said just travel. Don't travel specifically to find women. Travel, check out the country, enjoy the nightlife, enjoy whatever the hell you want to enjoy within reason. And then see if you like it, see if everything kind of falls in line with you. Go a couple times, back and forth. Don't just go one time, have a good time, like, I'm moving here permanently. Because then you might screw yourself, guys.
Makes excuses when you try to join expat groups. Gets upset when you talk to other foreigners, because they'll tell you what she doesn't want you to know.
Correct.
And finally, she gets angry when you say no. This is the moment the mask slips. She's not sad. She's not disappointed. She's mad. Like you're breaking a contract she never told you existed. Now, here's what James found on that phone. One night, James picked up Maria's phone to check the time, and he saw a text from someone named Miguel that made his blood stop. When the old man dies, we split everything. Just be patient. She wasn't waiting for natural causes. She was planning for them, treating his life like an investment with a maturity date. James lost $150,000 before he got out. Fought to recover the house, lost most of it. He's back in Houston now, in therapy, trying to process the fact that he was never her husband. He was her mark. All right, look, I'm not here to tell you not to go, travel, explore, meet.
I still tell you guys, probably the best chance of getting a good relationship. Are you still gonna get worked over there? Of course, women are gonna work you. That's what women do.
People, see the world. I'm all for it. But I am here to show you how to do it without becoming another cautionary tale.
Psych Ledger, we appreciate you, brother. Much appreciated.
Guys share in expat forums. So here's the rules, and I'm breaking these down into categories so you actually remember them before you go. Visit for 3 months first. Don't move permanently until...
I said that, guys. I said that. Go at least like 2-3 weeks, a month or so. Like, explore.
You've lived through a full season. Experience the heat when it's 100 degrees and humid. Dealt with the bureaucracy when you need something simple done. Seen what it's actually like when the vacation high wears off. Get international health insurance before you leave. I'm talking real coverage. Cigna, Allianz, companies like that. $500 to $1,500 a year depending on your age. Because one emergency without insurance will cost you more than 10 years of premiums. And keep go-home money sacred. Flight home plus 3 months of expenses. Completely untouchable. I don't care what sob story you hear. That money is your ejection seat and you never...
These are very solid advice.
Give it up. Money rules. Rent. Never buy. I don't care if you've been together 10
I would also say the renting thing, never buy. Just go rent a nice condo.
years. I don't care if her family is lovely. I don't care if everyone says it's fine. No property in anyone's name. No buildings. No land. No condos. You rent and you keep that money liquid.
Like the only way I see myself buying some kind of property in like the Philippines or something, if I had a very good Filipino friend, which I do not currently, at least, like good enough to where like it's my best friend Chris or George at that level, and then I would buy property through their name. But other than that, like I don't know. Even at that point, it's still quite risky because friendships can still end.
You can leave when you need to. Keep finances completely separate. She doesn't need your bank info, doesn't need a joint account, doesn't need access to anything except what you give her directly. And the moment she pushes back on that, you know exactly what this is. Relationship rules. 6-month minimum before any major decisions. No marriage, no property, no sponsoring her to America, no putting her on your insurance. Nothing permanent happens before 6 months. Honestly, a year is better. Do a background check and meet her family for real. Spend $200 on a background check. Fly to her hometown. Meet her parents and siblings. See where she actually comes from. And watch how she acts around people who've known her for years, not months. Stay connected. Join expat communities. And
I think this is why Asian, like when my family's case is, we end up with like a better ratio of finding women because we already are well connected into the country. Like a lot of my aunts and aunts' friends and even my dad's friends, like when we did a memorial for my mother on, I think, November, 3-year memorial for her because my dad wanted to. One of my dad's like good friends came over to me and I'm just like, "Are you ready to get married?" I'm like, "Why are you asking?" He's like, "I got a girl." And she showed me a picture. She was like, she comes from a great family. She comes from, her family are just good. They're good business people. They're honest. They're hardworking. We vetted them. Their whole family does well, like as in they don't do bad things or they're not struggling in any way. And I was just like, just the way we kind of vet people is so way more in depth than any of us Americans be vetting people. They vet to the degree that, and then when I asked her, oh, she's decent looking, she's like, don't care about the looks. She literally said that. Do not care about the looks. The looks does not matter. What matters is the background, the pedigree, the where she came from and everything, because attraction can build. That's exactly how Asians see it. And all of my aunts and uncles, even my own mom and dad, got married in that same fashion. The only people that separated were mom and dad. Everybody else became widows and widowers.
Actually listen to the guys who've been there 5+ years. They're not bitter, they're experienced. When they tell you something doesn't smell right, you listen, because they've seen your exact situation play out 50 times before.
Make friends, make connections. And it's probably the biggest thing. Remember, it's never about what you know. It's about who you know. And they got the information you might need. Remember, there's 2 types of fucking knowledge. Or 3. There's what you know, and then what you don't know, and then what you know you don't know. That's important.
Weekly check-ins with family back home. Tell someone where you are. Send them your address. Let them know you're okay. Because isolation is how these things go from bad to worse without anyone noticing. Paradise is great. Just don't fund someone else's paradise with your 401k while calling it...
Hey, drizzle, man. Don't change the game plan just because you went to another country. The game plan stays the same, right? Don't lead with your money. Same game plan, just have better odds. But remember, they use their femininity to the degree that femininity was made for, to trick men in a sense.
Love. Look, I get it, and I'm not going to pretend I don't. American dating feels like a second job you didn't apply for.
True.
The entitlement is real. The games are exhausting. You're jumping through hoops just to get coffee with someone who's already planning her exit before you even finish your first sentence. The frustration that makes you want to leave, it's not fake, it's real, it's valid, and nobody's telling you you're wrong for feeling it.
We're not.
But here's what I need you to understand. Running away from something and starting over are not the same thing.
True.
One is fear, the other is freedom. And if you can't tell the difference, you're about to make a very expensive mistake. You want to travel. You want to meet someone abroad. Go for it.
Agreed.
You want to experience a different culture and see if it fits you better.
Actually, I would recommend going to do these things. Don't think going to these things to find a woman to settle down. No, explore cultures, explore food, explore everything else out there, explore yourself. Then see, do I like it here in China? Do I like the weather? Do I like the people? Do I like the atmosphere? Philippines is a little mucky and, a little bit like Florida. I might not like that weather as much. Go to where you want to go. Travel and see the world.
I'm not stopping you, but go with your eyes open, not with your heart on your sleeve and your wallet on the table, hoping someone finally sees you for who you are. That guy at the beginning, David, sitting in the San Francisco airport with everything he owns in a carry-on bag, waiting for his daughter to wire him money for a ticket home. He wasn't stupid, and he wasn't naive. He was lonely, and lonely men make desperate
I think he was a little naive.
decisions. Because when you've been invisible for long enough, anyone who sees you feels like a miracle.
I can
get
agree
it.
with this.
We've all been there in some form. Maybe not 8,000 miles away, but we've all made decisions based on wanting to be wanted, on needing to feel like we matter to someone. There's nothing wrong with that. It's
Nothing.
human. We're all looking for the same thing. Connection that feels real, respect that isn't transactional, someone who sees us as more than a retirement plan with a pulse, and wanting that doesn't make you weak, doesn't make you pathetic, doesn't make you any of the things you're afraid people think. But here's what you need to understand, and I mean really understand. The trap isn't Thailand. It's not the Philippines. It's not Vietnam.
It's women!
Those are just locations on a map. The trap is believing you're the exception,
I
that your
bet.
situation is different, that she's
Yes.
not like the others, that you finally cracked the code everyone else was too blind to see. You're not the exception. Neither am I. Neither is anyone else.
No,
That's
we're
not an
not.
insult. It's just math. And the sooner you accept that, the less it'll cost you. You spent 40 years building that retirement, working jobs you hated, missing time with your kids, sacrificing pieces of yourself so you'd have something when you got older. I'll be damned if I'm going to watch you throw it away in 40 weeks because loneliness made you sloppy.
My man. Ledger, I'm proud. I'm so proud, brother. I love your channel and I love the message that you're putting out there. This is wonderful content.
Protect
Wonderful.
yourself the way you'd protect your brother, because that's what we are. Brothers trying to navigate a world that changed while we weren't looking.
And I think this is what men have to realize a little bit more. We are all brothers. Yes, we may have different genes, come from different countries and all these things, but we're still all brothers.
Trying to find connection in a culture that turned dating into a transaction. Doing the best we can with what we've got. If you know a guy who's thinking about doing this, send him this video, not to scare him, not to shame him, but to arm him with information that might save him from losing everything. Because the people running these scams, they're counting on silence, on shame.
True.
on men being too embarrassed to admit they got played. Every time we stay quiet, we make it easier for the next guy to fall. Don't give them that. Eyes open, boys. The world's full of traps, but you don't have to step in every one just because it looks like the escape you've been dreaming about.
Thank you to our Asian brother that sent me this video, because I did not find this video myself. He sent this to me just to give a warning about expats and just, you know, passport bro, and I think it's a wonderful warning. It's a warning that I kind of give, but obviously not as in-depth as this, and obviously I don't give you guys the full playbook, but this was a good playbook. You know, go about it very similar to this way, what he laid down. Remember, 3 years! 3! Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.